Welcome back, agents, to another episode of Prime Tips. Hey, this time I'm not the expert, so I went out and found one. Network 80's back, and today we're going to be talking about Adventure Sync. Let me get it right, Sync. And if you're a Pogo player or a Harry Potter, you may be familiar with this. I don't. Did Catan have this for the short time that it was around?
I never got a chance to play that
I never
one,
got a chance to play.
unfortunately.
So if you're a Catan player and you use it, let us know. But I brought in Network 80 so he could tell us all about how we think Adventure Sync is going to work. So we've seen some posts lately saying that Adventure Sync is coming to Ingress, but we've not seen
Finally,
anything about how it's going to work. Yeah, and the soon moniker is on top of that. So it could be a good Christmas present maybe next year. But we're going to take our guesses on how it works. And I'm just going to hand it over to Network 80 and let us know how it kind of works in Pokemon.
yep.
And then we'll make our predictions on how it'll work in Ingress. So take it away, sir.
And of course, this is all coming after we have two major events that are based on distance walks.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, good timing.
yep.
Well,
Um,
I would bet they were testing it.
Probably, but I wish they would have let us test it.
It'd been nice for us to test it.
So, in Pokemon, there's the dynamic of walking to get both eggs to hatch, as well as there are certain bonuses for every week. If you walk X number of kilometers, you get free stuff from the store, that type of stuff.
And if you're not using Adventure Sync, that means that program has to be running on the phone.
Right.
Does it have to be running in the foreground or just
No,
running?
you can. Well, it has to be running in the foreground, but you can have it in their battery save mode.
Okay.
So, like, if you put it in battery save mode and you flip your phone
Flip
upside
your phone
down,
over. Yeah, Ingress does that too. You flip it over and
right?
and it goes. And I think
Um,
Ingress does the same thing when it tries to figure out how far you're walking, which I did a thing on that last time, and you're lucky if you get 70%.
Yep.
But
And of course, Adventure Sync, you have to make sure that you kill the app because Adventure Sync is only running when the app is not running. So, like with Pokemon Go, when you're done, you got to, when you're done playing, you make sure you kill it so that you get your count. Because otherwise, it just sits there and thinks you're not doing anything until you open the app back up. So, like in Pokemon, like I said, you hatch eggs. Well, that's going to be the same as your kinetic capsule in Ingress. At least we're assuming. We sort of went backwards with Ingress as usual. We get the stuff that Active Sync would be great for, and hopefully we'll get Active Sync soon. It is great though because we all have real jobs in the world outside of Ingress, believe it or not. So, some of us maybe not.
Retired guys, I can get up when I want to.
But we can still earn points towards the game with Active Sync now. Like in Pokemon Go, I would never hatch the number of eggs that I hatch if it wasn't for Active Sync and just getting counted for steps walking around the house, walking to and from the grocery store or whatever that. Because I'm not going to sit there and open up the app and make sure it's in the foreground and all that fun stuff. Of course, the other great thing about Adventure Sync is that it actually counts even when GPS doesn't think you're moving. So, like, you're inside of a mall or some other building that maybe has weird GPS coverage, you get credit for the steps.
Okay.
It's not worried about you moved 4 meters in this direction, 3 meters in this direction, or whatever. However, I think Trekker is one of those that we've all gone is sort of voodoo magic as to how Ingress actually calculates.
Yeah, like I said, I did a thing on that last time, and I found that it really kind of comes down to your data. If you don't have data, you could have the best GPS in the world, and it's not going to count those steps. And if you don't have GPS, of course, it's not going to do it. So you got to have them both. And even then, I think my best was 90% in the best. Best thing. So you basically just start this thing up on your phone, let it run.
So, you just go into settings. You say Adventure Sync on. I'm sure that when it comes out, they'll probably prompt you and go, "Hey, there's a new feature. Would you like to turn this on?" Because you have to give permission in the phone, to see the steps and all that fun stuff. I'm hoping that they bring the weekly challenges over to Ingress like they have in Pokemon, where if you do X number of kilometers a week, you get maybe 20 bursters or something. Whatever the equivalent will be to Pokemon. who knows what that reward system may look like. But like in Pokemon, there's 3 tiers. I think it's 10 kilometers, 25, and 50, or something like that, and you get different amounts and different types of rewards depending on how far you walk each week.
So to get this thing started, it'll probably be an update that'll push out to the scanner, and it'll say it's there. And then we're guessing, and I'm looking at a screen here. This is total guess that you're going to open up settings, and there's probably going to be like Adventure Sync, turn it on.
Exactly.
And you hit the little button, and that doesn't do all of it. You have to have another part, from what I'm hearing, and that's something that counts your steps. And if depends upon whether you have an iOS or Fruity phone, or or if you're using an Android. So if you're using iOS, you probably will be using Apple Health. You go into sources, verify that Adventure Sync is allowed, and go into your settings and privacy and motion and fitness and turn on the fitness tracking.
Yep.
If it's an Android, it's a little different. You install Google Fit, which I installed for the first time today. I was like, God, why didn't I have this? Allow it to do its storage and location so it can count that stuff, and then allow Ingress Prime to pull Google Fit data from your Google account. That's a real guess. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, as a Fruity user, as you would call me, I don't know much about the Droid side, but yeah, with Apple, it's pretty easy. Once you've got Apple Health turned on and it's counting steps, it doesn't matter whether you're using something like an Apple Watch, a Fitbit, or just the phone itself. Any steps that it counts, it passes on to Ingress.
Okay.
Or, well, in our case,
it'll pass on
right now.
So when does it pass that on? Does it pass it on throughout the day, or does it do like a dump load when you start up again, or?
Anytime you open up the app,
it'll
sync up. So like, if I do think it's iffy sometimes. I do think with Pokemon Go, it does update in the background. And the reason I say that is because every once in a while I do get I notice, hey, an egg's about to hatch, and you click it, and then it'll say, as soon as you open it up, it'll say, you have completed 1.2 kilometers since the last sync with active sync or something like that, and then boom, the egg hatches. So
yeah, I saw a thing with the setup for Pokemon, at least, that you can say, hey, I want notifications that an egg's about to hatch or this is about to happen, and so there's about 3 or 4 things you can say, hey, give me a heads up when this gets to this point.
Yep.
But we're thinking this is not going to be like a Pokemon Go Plus or any of the auto things. We don't think it's going to be, I hope not, that it's going to be auto hacking.
At least not at the start, because that's not, Active Sync really doesn't include that. The Pokemon, the gotchas, the Go Plus or whatever, those are all just hardware they've added. I think that, knowing Niantic, they probably will eventually do that just to try to sell something.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how that's going to work in the Ingress thing. I mean, I can see auto hacking being okay. I mean, it's not that much different than, you sitting there going quick hack, quick hack, quick hack, quick hack as you walk around.
Yeah.
You just don't have to pay attention to it. The one thing that gets you in trouble with in Pokemon World is auto spinning. You end up, your bag is just completely full of stuff, and you have to go looking. I've got 400 berries now. I need to get rid of a whole bunch of, So inventory control becomes important with that.
I could see that, because I'm usually, even though I'm a core member, I'm tapping out that inventory all the time. And if it was auto hacking, it's like, I got to get this. I'm doing a drive by, and it's like, oh crap, I'm full, and I can't get it. So I could see that being a problem.
Yeah. The other thing is, with Pokemon Go, that particular feature, you can also have it auto catch Pokemon, which would, I guess, be the equivalent of like auto attacking. Maybe, I don't think that will translate, but it works really well for Niantic to get people to buy more things from the store, because as they're auto catching, they're using all of their balls at the same time. So maybe there would be some sort of feature like that. I just can't think of how that would currently fit into the gameplay, but I'm all for some sort of new dynamics coming into Ingress. Try to, it's time, and they keep saying that this was it light ship? That's what they're calling.
Light ship.
That all these light ship features, once they're attached to Ingress completely, that all of a sudden that will open up the floodgates of possibilities. So,
and I'm assuming it also keeps track. Again, we're guessing because of Pokemon.
Yep.
It probably has the speed cap, so anywhere that's like, was it 10 mile an hour, or what's that work out to, like 40
I want
kilometers an
to
hour or something like that?
say Pokemon's is 20. They're different, believe it or not.
Okay.
Between at least they have been in the past. But the active sync really doesn't matter speed wise, as long as your um, game is off. The active sync takes whatever your step count is. So, for example, my wife is a teacher. She noticed that she was able to hatch an egg sitting still in the gymnasium during an awards ceremony because clapping was enough to get her phone to think that she was making steps.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways to game the system.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers when Pokemon Go first came out before Adventure Sync, and people were busy swinging their phones and socks and all sorts of other things to get eggs to hatch. But I mean, the phone, Fitbit, etc. They're not perfect.
Yeah.
It's all based on motion. So yeah, I mean, I have seen people that have put their Fitbit on their dog. I've seen, and linked it up to their phone. All sorts of fun things.
Yeah.
But you're only cheating yourself with that.
Yeah,
so.
and it really depends on where you're at. I know the last one that I was looking at, there's GPS drift, and I was sitting in Bloomington, as a matter of fact, Bloomington, Illinois, for a barbershop choir concert. But anyway, and I was getting terrible drift. I was sitting there eating breakfast, and I was able to hack all the portals within a block. It drifted so bad. So, in that situation, you could let that phone sit and get a kilometer or two.
Yeah, and you think that's bad, you should go to Vegas sometime.
Ooh.
I remember that was actually my first week playing Ingress. I ended up flying out to Vegas, and I would sit in the hotel room in the Excalibur, and I could hit all the portals in Excalibur plus a couple over in Luxor. So it was, the drift was amazing.
Yeah, except for when you wanted to be on a certain portal, and then you're like a block away, and you're like, God dang it, I can't get to it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I could be sitting in a park where there's two portals real close to each other, and sit in the same spot 5 days, 5 different days, and sometimes I can get to the two portals. Sometimes I have to move between them.
Yeah,
so.
The joys of rural ingressing, you just never know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
That's why you have your phone and a Wi-Fi with a different carrier and another one with a different carrier, and then you might be able to get on.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything else? Any words of wisdom for?
The biggest thing is once this starts, just remember to shut off your game when you want it to be counting, because there's nothing more frustrating than going out for exercise or something. You're not playing the game, and then you come back and you go, oh, none of that counted. It's you got to kind of be mindful about it. Same thing with I'll find myself at stores. There might be a portal at the front of the store or something, or I'll go, swipe it, go ahead and, get my spin in for the day. And if I forget to close out the app, all the walking back and forth up and down the aisles does nothing. So,
yeah. Which is totally opposite from what I do. I know that I go walking in a nature preserve, stuff like that. And I usually, spin up Ingress, put it head down so it's in battery mode, and then just walk. And then I'm one of those weirdos. I like to hear the sounds, so I don't turn the sound off. So, which is, if you really do it, you can say, oh, I'm near a portal. You can actually hear the difference.
That's true.
It's not as good as it was in Redacted, but
yeah, I do turn the sound on when I'm cargressing. It helps me know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. But
you tell the wife to slow down. I got a hack, right?
Exactly. No, one thing, just in terms of the synchronizing that's really cool if you're a multi-AR gamer like myself, when you play Pokemon and Ingress, is I can put Ingress in active sync while I'm playing Pokemon or vice versa in the future, so I can still get dual count from my walking.
Now, the way it is now with Pokemon and Wizards, I don't know if you're a Wizards player, does the distance that you get from Adventure Sync go to both?
Yes.
Okay. So you could actually get to all three, possibly, if it works out that way.
True. Yeah. I forget about Wizards because I kind of got bored with that one, but
yeah. Okay.
Plus, it got a little confusing trying to play 3 games at the same time. So.
Oh, I can imagine. That's why I'm a purist. I'm like, all I can handle is Ingress. That's it. All righty. Well, I hope I see you in the field sometime, and thank you, sir, for your expertise. I guess in 6 months to 2 years, we'll know whether or not you were right. And I hope that I see you guys in the field sometime soon. That's all. See you later.